Hello and welcome. So today, YouTube Studio has an AI feature recommending video ideas, trending topics, perfectly tailored to your channel. And today we will be using these topics to decide our episode. We normally chat about art, artists, writers, graphic novels, books. And do you think that the AI recommended these sorts of topics to us? Because, spoiler, no.
I'm fucking mad.
Charles?
Welcome to Ink in the Eyes. My name's Charles Salisbury. With me is the darling Ace McAlpine, as per. Looking lovely and hot. Not in the sexual HR kind of way, just in the, she lives in Virginia and 30 odd degrees.
That's
It's cold and wet here.
a lot of explanation, but you did spend a long time complaining about the weather before we began.
Before we began, it's so bad. It's just great. It's wall to wall silver. Oh, I'm over it. Right.
Our first topic up
Our
for
first
debate
topic, Ace.
with me and a grumpy British person
I'm so grumpy today.
is a British perspective on why American drive-thrus are peak human engineering efficiently. So, tell me, I'm not British, so
You're not.
I cannot tell you a British perspective on American drive-thrus.
What is your American perspective, though?
Your challenge is
My
to
challenge.
connect this back to graphic novels. Like festival fields or carnival fields, they'll do a few nights of a drive-through. I've never been.
Oh, wait. Do you mean drive-through cinema?
Yes, because if you look at the AI image, this looks like a drive-through
The AI
cinema,
image is a man
but
who...
as you said that, you're correct. There are drive-throughs just
Well, this
everywhere.
is why-
We were talking about this the other day.
AI isn't going to take everybody's job because it's got an AI... It says British perspective on drive-throughs, and it's a mad stud and not in a car. So
Yeah.
it clearly has no
so I
fucking
was like,
clue
this
what
is a
it's throwing
drive-through
fingers
cinema.
about.
I had all my notes for a drive-through cinema. Anyway, yeah, we have a lot of drive-throughs. We were talking about this yesterday because there's up in Maryland, there's a coffee shop and a church. I swear this is relevant. It doesn't have a drive-through.
A coffee shop in a church.
Yeah. It's called Beans in the Belfry. It's cute,
Great name.
but it's a little bit kind of musty inside.
Mm-hmm.
Someone I was talking to said, you know, if a big brand bought this over and someone who had a lot of money, essentially, they
Yeah.
can make it really cool. My thought is they'd make it a lot more, I don't want to say corporate, but like when you walk into a Starbucks, it feels like you're a Starbucks, no matter what country you're in. And so I think it would lose a lot of its charm, but I think this coffee shop...
Is it true that a lot of Americans do that when they're traveling? When they're homesick, they go to a Starbucks because they're all generically the same?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I know when I was in London, a few people who I had a couple friends who were like diehard Starbucks people would go and were annoyed that Starbucks had different things in England than in the US.
Oh.
Now, I had other friends who were like boycotting from America, who were boycotting Starbucks.
Yeah.
I would say, the first time I studied abroad, I was in France. And there was one day I just wasn't having it. And I went into a Starbucks, partially to see what different things they had. And they had this weird
something
muffin
interesting,
with
yeah.
popcorn on top of it. Because in like McDonald's too, in France, they sell macarons. You'd never get that.
Yeah, they're a bit different. They do beer as well, don't they? And
I don't know.
they're all-
I didn't order. I just was meeting someone in one.
they all have different
But,
names
yeah.
as well because they're not like a quarter pounder because we don't use pounds. Like they're all like...
Oh. But yes, I think so. Like when I was homesick, I went into a Starbucks and it even smells the same.
Is it? Oh, weird.
Yeah. My apologies. I completely derailed this first topic immediately. See,
No.
this is what AI can't encapsulate.
I mean, it can't even encapsulate its own image. That's the problem. I mean, it will get
It
better
will,
than
though.
us. It'll be excellent at some point. But at the moment, it's just a bit shit. I think we've tried to run before we could walk with this AI thing.
Tell me about your perspective on drive-thrus.
So they're a very American thing here, but to the point where it's always places like Starbucks, McDonald's, Burger King. Burger King have them? I guess there must be like KFC would have them. it wouldn't be something that is normalized here, mainly because of space. I think just the practicality of it. Like we don't have big car, but like if I want to go to a shop or to anything, we don't have the space to like have a whole network of mini roads to go around places. My
I
notes when I was more grumpy.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is like such a tame
I'd be
answer
very
compared to.
sorry.
Yeah, I think it's because our infrastructure is entirely based on cars, which is a completely other topic.
Yeah.
And yeah, quite unfortunate. That was the note I wrote. And the note you wrote was Americans are too reliant on their cars. Fair. American brands have them here, McDonald's and that.
Oh
The
yeah.
only time I allow myself, and by myself I mean Charles, one of these god awful meals is because I'm motorway driving and also need the toilets so I can trouble myself to get out and walk the 50 meters.
Yeah. There you go. If you're on a motorway service station, you go out to the toilet.
Have you ever been to a rest station?
What's a rest station?
I don't know, because you've only been to the west of the U.S., but like on
How
the
against the west of the US?
a few of the big highways up the East Coast, they have rest stops, and every so many miles, it's like just
Like a petrol station.
no, it's like a building. It has food, like a little convenience thing. There's always a petrol station, gas
sure.
station, and then there's free bathrooms. So like we'll run in and get a bathroom.
Ah, so yeah,
sometimes
we
the
call it
coffee's
like a
not
service station. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
But,
yeah.
well, service stations are much bigger here. They're like properly like developed, but they're always on motorways. Or we have
Yeah,
petrol
that's
stations,
what
which
we
is
have. Occasionally, you'll have a drive-through Starbucks.
Yeah, I think I have been to one because I was falling asleep when I was driving the one time in America, and I was like, I need a coffee, and I got one like the size of a small child. Like a big sippy cup. It's insane.
I like that you said I got a coffee rather than just taking a nap.
I think I did have a nap, but I had a coffee.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was driving with a friend who was asleep, which is the one thing that annoys me about a passenger. Your job as a passenger is to keep the driver alive and awake so that he can keep you alive.
Okay.
That's the
Or you swap off.
no, because Haz couldn't drive at that point,
Oh.
which was
In America,
even
that
more,
wouldn't happen.
even more.
We're
insane.
born with licenses.
Yeah, a lot of my two American friends have had to redo their licenses here because it's easier to get in the US, so they have to redo
Oh, yeah.
it here.
It's state by state. Apparently, years and years and years ago, before I was alive, my mom lived in New Mexico, and her friend basically brought her car and got it inspected and got a license. She was like, what is this?
Could do you one better. I knew one of my friends who was from an African country. I won't shame them in case it's changed, but basically she got in the car, gave them the license with a stack of cash in it, and then they drove around the corner, and then he was like, "Congratulations, you passed your test." And then that was it. I was like, "Oh, okay." Remind me never to go in the car with this person.
Ours in Virginia, we have to do driver's ed in high school. Everyone does this. And then we have to do driving school for a week. But before we do driving school for a week, we have to take a road sign test and pass that. And at like the state DMV. And then do 15 hours of driving with our parents. I think it's 15. And I think 5 of those hours have to be night driving.
Right.
And so my dad took me onto the Capitol Beltway, which is the massive highway that goes around DC, and said, merge.
Is he not valuing his life at that point?
No, you know what? At that point, I had been, I was older.
That's
I got my
terrifying.
license a little bit late, and I had been driving with them for a little while. And it was just after rush hour. And so there is...
Fucking hell.
It wasn't like back-to-back traffic, but there's a flow.
Right.
Like people are expecting
Christ.
things to
would
go.
be
And
terrible.
I was working at the time, so it was just after work, my high school job.
So you were knackered.
I don't remember being knackered. I didn't really want to learn to drive, which confused my parents.
Yeah, no, I was very much first on the boat to learn to drive. Failed twice. First two I failed, then failed. Passed my third one.
Why did you fail?
Why did I fail? So I failed my first one for undue hesitation. Second one was driving too fast without breaking the speed limit, which was annoying.
You drove too fast but didn't break the speed limit?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
So if we were in like a 30 limit cul-de-sac and I was doing like 20, but because it's a smaller road, you don't do the speed limit, if that makes sense.
Here it's minimum 5 miles over,
What do you mean?
or people get mad at you.
Oh, I see. Yeah, if I was driving normally, it would be, but like for the book, it's.
Interesting.
But
You had to do manual though, right?
yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, no one in their right mind would do automatic here because you wouldn't be able, like automatic cars. Probably different now with technology changing, but in my day, automatic cars were like so much more expensive because they were just so rare. And if you do your test in an automatic, you can
You can't
only
drive
drive
manual.
automatic. You can only drive automatics. So when it
That's
comes to
not a
like
rule here.
hiring a car, it should be a rule.
Well, there's just no manuals.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. But
Like it's really rare. It's really
find
strange that we have one.
yeah, because you guys have one, don't you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's so dangerous to go from the other way around. Like, I think everybody should learn the manual because you learn what the car is like.
I went the other way around. Now, I would argue my parents are good teachers. And I haven't crashed yet.
No, I think it's good to learn the manual.
They
yeah,
have self-driving cars now.
They're called taxis. They've been around for centuries. I don't
Well,
understand.
they also have
obsession.
cars you can purchase that drive themselves.
Do not understand the obsession with self-driving cars.
So why
Birds
am I
ran the
manually
day. They
changing the gear
are
of my car?
fucking useless and
They are.
absolute.
I would never get one.
Why bother? Like,
No,
what is the only benefit?
So
Because,
when the infrastructure comes in, I think
which you
they'll be
won't.
nice. But at the moment, you have to like watch to make sure the car's not gonna run anyone over. And so you're basically just sitting doing
Yeah.
nothing on the highway and you're gonna fall asleep. Versus
Yeah,
like when you're
100%.
driving, you're doing things.
Yeah. The two, yeah. And the infrastructure won't change. Like, we both live in countries where our infrastructure is fucking terrible. Like, and they don't do anything about it because it's more fun to do something new and shiny than it is to redo a road. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I can sit in the back with a bottle of Merlot, chatting
How
away
often
to
have
my
you done this?
never, but like, do you know what I mean? If I can sit in the back with a bottle of Merlot, eating like a sandwich with my friends, and we can all chat, and all the shit around me is going by, and I'm on the motorway, not focused, fantastic. But if I have to be in control, what's the point? I may as well just drive. I don't get it. Or be on the train. If you want to have a drink and
We don't
sleep,
have trains. They're very
get on the
expensive.
train.
Or they're
They're
very
very expensive here, which is another rant.
They're more expensive. It's like
They can't be. It can't possibly be more expensive here. Here
no.
is
There. Here it's more expensive. Not there.
no, it can't be. I don't believe that.
No, because Amtrak, it's sometimes as much as a plane or more, because like there's just not as much.
I cannot
Why
believe
don't
this.
you believe me?
Because our trains
You
are
have more
shit and
trains.
expensive. Fuck it, let's ask AI. We're having an AI episode. Please continue.
No,
Talk
do
about
not
yourself.
ask AI. Oh my word! My
Which
sister's
train?
taking a psychology test class, and apparently the professor. I don't know if he did research or just like referenced research. When like even if you write something but then give it to AI to edit, your brain gets stupider. That's the spark notes of that.
Thank you very much
Why did you thank me?
for telling me that.
Are you being sarcastic?
If you book a UK tickets well in advance, they can sometimes be cheaper. But which country? So if you're asking which country generally has more expensive trains, the answer is UK.
Yeah, but what is that counting Amtrak or
That is counting
like
Amtrak.
Metro Subtra? What?
Amtrak.
Interesting. Let me see. I'm looking up now. Okay, so taking the train from DC to New York, coach, one way, 193. Coming back, 235. Plane,
But DC,
round
DC
trip.
to New York is like, I don't even think that distance exists in England.
It's a 6-hour drive.
Okay.
It does. It's not from like the bottom of England. To the
York,
top.
London,
But
probably then. But what they did, which was great, is that they privatized everything. So a separate company owns the rail to the trains that go on the rail. And if you think that that is the stupidest idea ever, welcome to England.
225 miles, DC to New York. London to York is 211.
And what was the DC?
225.
Okay, so not much. That was pretty good of me, actually. That was pretty good there. That was
That
pretty
was good.
close. I'll take that. I'll take that to the bank.
How much does it cost to get from London to York?
Oh, fucking loads. Probably an arm, maybe a leg. Because one train track will own that line, will like run that line. Actually, you're on the
took
East
the
Coast, and
train
the East Coast
from-
is cheaper. West Coast is more expensive for unknown reasons.
On the America?
What?
America or your country?
Oh, no, our country. We also have coasts.
Yeah, barely.
We're an island, you cheeky fuck. We've got more coasts than you. Probably not.
Yours is only $80 one way. What do you mean yours is more expensive?
It's fucking not. I bet if you went...
I just went on to Omeo,
What's Omeo?
and that's on Friday. On Saturday, which is when I was looking at Amtrak, it's only $57.
Well, AI...
Dollars, not even pounds.
No. No, it
Yes. On Monday, it's $28 one way.
No, it isn't.
Yeah,
I
it
don't believe
is.
that. What's
London
the website?
King's
Can you send it me?
Cross.
Because that actually sounds better than where I'm buying train tickets.
Omeo, that's where I got all my tickets. It was either Omeo or Trainline, and then I'd go back and forth to see which had the cheapest.
Trainline is shit. I use Trainline.
Yeah, Trainline is shit, but a lot of my friends had student discounts in it, and so that's why I used them. All right, next topic.
Next topic. Go on,
Get
what's the
a
topic?
pad and pencil, because you are going to be illustrating your surreal hallucinations after eating a questionable wild mushroom pizza.
Oh, am I illustrating this?
Throwing back to when you said before, was it an Ironman?
It was before my Ironman in Portugal. It was in Cascais.
I think you actually hallucinated your Ironman. And you
That's
just-
where it's got it from. It's listened to our episodes and thought I hallucinated in my Ironman, which is possibly true. I don't think I did, but
You
people have
actually
told me I
just
did.
laid in the beach, the waves,
No, I've got the medal.
smacking
I
your
swear.
head around.
I swear. Imagine that.
Are you sure
If
that's
I've
not
just
hallucinated right now,
out
too?
my next episode, I'll show you my medal. Just to prove that I didn't trip out and think that I actually did the Ironman. So yeah, I hallucinated. I don't think somebody
I think
told
I
me
hallucinated an Ironman. is
that
what
I
he's saying.
hallucinated on my Ironman, not the Ironman.
Oh, did you? And that's
No,
how
I
you
was
got
talking
through?
to somebody, and then my now ex-wife was like, "There was no one there. I was stood on the road when you were there, and there was no one. Like you weren't with anybody." And I was like,
So
"No,
you
what?"
were hallucinating.
But he had like a fucking weird. The problem was that it didn't argue in my favor. Is his name was something like Shkadoobity Doop. It was like something ridiculous, a ridiculous name. But it was like it could have been. It was like something like Romley or something like that. So like. Could possibly be a name, but also it didn't help my favour. I was like, no, he was called Romley, and they were like, that's not a fucking name. What are you talking about? I was very sick at this point as well, like very, very sick. It was like 12 hours into the Ironman, so I had half an hour left, and I was running. I'd been sick twice. I hadn't had any sugar or any liquid for about a good couple of hours. So possibly, I think I was dying at that point. I think I was close to total body shutdown. Don't do an Ironman. Certainly don't do it. Certainly don't do it without training your stomach.
All right.
Yeah, so that's where that came from. I'm not illustrating that because he just looked like a normal guy. I think he was from Nottingham. He was on this side of me, and then he just ran off.
I I thought this was some nonsense.
So AI is confused two
AI.
things. I had the best pizza ever, which
You
was,
didn't tell me about this fake man you met.
did I not? He was real.
No. I've
So it was
never
when I
heard
was on the
this
run.
before.
I was on the run. I was on the last
Are you
lap
sure
of
he
the.
ran off and didn't like hop,
No, he ran
scuddle?
off. He didn't like turn into a bunny and just bounce away. Like he was. It was a
Sure.
real person that just fucked off, but I couldn't catch up. But it was on the last leg, and I remember thinking there were 16K loops. I remember being 9K to go and thinking I need to finish this because I might need medical attention. And then because I was sick and because my whole body, my heart rate was like a
Were
million.
you sick
I was
because of the
like,
pizza?
no, I was sick because it was a really, really rough swim, and I'd taken in too much seawater. And then coupled with that, I got my nutrition, fucked my nutrition up completely, which was totally my fault. But I had a bad stomach because of the seawater. And then I had to get Gatorade instead of my own water drink, and I'd never drank Gatorade before.
You've
And
never
so,
had. Wow.
no, and so it was like, never try anything on race day. Did it, had stomach
I
cramps,
can't
threw
read.
up. It was like, it was a disaster. It was a disaster of a thing. And so,
Why
yeah,
did you decide to do this?
that was all on my bike. And
Oh
then
God.
when it came to the run, I had literally for a 4 hour run, I had like this much Coca Cola. That was the only thing. It took me like 2 hours to drink that, so I could only sip it before I was like. Ah! But the pizza was fucking great. That was days before though. That was days before. Pizza was a wild mushroom one, and then after the race, they gave me a carrot soup. That was excellent.
We did a 5K once, and it was a hot chocolate run. And so at the end, we got hot chocolate and a little plate of not fondue, melted chocolate and like fruit and marshmallows.
That's cute.
And then they messed up the race, and they started like 3 hours late. It was freezing cold, and so they never had another one.
Oh, that's sad. Sounds like a nice idea.
And I ran not an Ironman. So I was sick, not at all.
Not at all. No times. No, I was sick on the
Why
Ironman.
did you do the Ironman?
Once because I was clearly suffering from grief and was like, I'm going to bury these feelings away. And then the second one, so I did once to see if I could do it, and then the second one to see that the first one wasn't a fluke. So the first one was amazing. It was in Ireland. It was really sunny. It was beautiful.
Oh, and then the
Around
second one
lake.
nearly killed you.
And then the second one nearly killed me, and I got very sick afterwards. Really, really sick afterwards. And then I've never done another one since. Fucking barely run now. But I was funnily sick on Rome. That was just a marathon though, because I was running and it was really hot. This is such a gross story, so fast forward 2 minutes if you want to. It was so hot. It was like 30 odd degrees, and we were running. It was like amazing. It was all going well, and then, as you well know, Ali, I have a very weak gag reflex. And so I was running and I needed the wee, so I tried to do the right thing as opposed to going in the bushes like an animal, like everybody else was. I went to a portaloo. Obviously, that was like an Irish prison in the 80s. Like, it was an absolute dirty, like, it was just full of shite everywhere, like a dirty protest. So I opened the door, smelt it, threw up all over it, and then just had to carry on running because I was like, I can't deal with that. I'm going to just run away now. If anything, I made it much worse for the next
Did you
person.
then pee in the bushes?
I did then pee in the bushes, yeah. But after a while, because my thing was just being like, oh God. And then I was like, had to wash I couldn't clean my hands, so I had to find some like alcohol, which actually running a race is very difficult to be like, can I borrow some of your hand sanitizer, please? Awful. So I didn't get my PB on that race. Yeah.
It'd be more amazing if you did. That'd be.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh God.
It was god awful. Apart from that, Rome was fucking awesome. The marathon was amazing. Yeah. But the sanitation was not. So bear that in mind. Have you ever had hallucination on mushrooms?
No,
Oh,
never hallucinated.
never
That I'm aware
hallucinated.
of. Never
You never had the flu? Because I
on
hallucinated
mushrooms.
once on the
I
flu.
have had the flu. Didn't hallucinate.
Oh. I thought I
Had
was dying. I
COVID.
thought there was a woman in my room that was all dressed in black, and I was like, well, this is it then.
Oh, it's the Grim Reaper.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
What did she do?
nothing. She was there for a bit, and then that was
Oh,
that. It was quite
did you
scary.
talk to her?
No, I was scared. I was like,
How
oh.
often do you
Actually, I was
hallucinate?
very relaxed to being like, oh,
This is it. Like,
this is it. It's not so scary. And then I came back to reality and was like, oh no, this is the worst part.
my word. This is a traumatic episode for you.
It's a very dramatic episode for me. I feel like I've been talking a lot. You must tell me those things. Which one of these lists most spoke to you?
Well, I thought those two were the funniest.
Those two are
But most of these are targeted at you.
they?
Because
Why?
AI is
I know.
sexist.
It's the patriarchy gone that deep that now AI, YouTube studio
Well, it
is.
says a British perspective on American drive-thrus.
Yeah.
Your pizza story.
Yeah.
Then it says how niche artisanal fragrance brands are dismantling the designer perfume monopoly. And you might think to yourself, this sounds feminine enough. I have no opinions on perfume. In fact, I haven't found a perfume I like that smells like when it's on my skin. You, however, have opinions on perfume commercials. And
Commercials and perfume.
worked
Yeah,
on
yeah.
perfume.
I've worked on perfume and have stacks of perfume, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, of course. You've got to have a collection.
Sounds expensive. I like the Billie Eilish one, but I don't like wearing it or smelling it on me.
That's what?
It's just too much. I just don't like.
You need like an everyday one, which is usually quite.
Need is a strong word.
And then need is a strong word. It's good to have an everyday one. And then the thing is, you're not a smelly boy.
I'm not a boy or smelly, I'd like to think.
Whereas I'm both of those things. So I need to have fragrances to mask those.
The like really cheap, like not real perfume.
Deodorant.
No. Like body mist.
What?
Get when you were like body mist, like you'd get when you were 14.
What is that actually called? Like, yeah, body spray, isn't it? Yeah, I guess like Axe Lynx.
It's a French name. I could probably find one
It's
somewhere.
not Eau de Toilette, no. Eau de
That's
Toilette is
what-
perfume.
Oh. Well, that's what they call it here, and that's clearly incorrect.
Then deodorant is...
It's not deodorant.
Deodorant
It's just
is
like a mist.
Yeah, so we could probably call that deodorant, and then antiperspirant is your antiperspirant.
But you don't put it under your arms. You spray it on you.
Yeah, I think you can do that with deodorant. It's only antiperspirant that you can't spray under your arms because that's got the white powder in that goes and like clogs you up.
So then what's the point of antiperspirant?
An antiperspirant is like to stop you sweating. Yeah, antiperspirant.
But then why would you not put it under your arms?
No, you do put that under your arms.
Oh.
Body
God, I
spray
understood you.
is what I think we would call deodorant. I think they're interchangeable.
different
here,
things.
But like, okay.
But if it's exchangeable there, that's fine, I guess.
I think you'd call... The only thing I can think of is, Lynx Axe or Lynx Africa.
Axe body spray, that has a terrible reputation.
Lynx, so it's called Lynx here. It's not called Axe.
Axe body spray is what 13-year-old boys spray.
Yes. Yeah,
and
yeah,
make
yeah.
the school buses smell
That
terrible.
was my generation. Was that yours too?
Yeah, they still did it here too.
Wow.
When I was a kid, it just
So Lynx Africa was like
so strong.
synonymous with my teens. Like that was just what everybody wore.
And it
You
was
might
too
have you
strong.
might get another Lynx, but like you'd have Africa. He must have made so much money off that.
Because they'd empty an entire bottle a day.
Yeah.
All
And then
right.
you get one lad, the simpleton in the back that would set it on fire.
We didn't have that, no.
There was always one lad that would always be like, put a lighter to it, like, "Hey!" And then the plastic housing would melt, and then he'd have to throw it away very quickly. Yeah.
I always wanted to try that, and we talked about it, but never did. No arsonists here.
No, that's no.
What's your opinions on perfumes?
What on
Rundown.
the
Modern perfume.
artisanal fragrance brands dismantling the design of perfume? No, because as soon as they get big, they get bought out. There's only like a few brands. So we did when we were doing haircut, when I was hairdressing, it was like Estee Lauder, L'Oreal, Unilever. They all own everything. Continue. You were about to say something.
I got a perfume sample set. I could probably find them. Called Dead Writers.
Oh,
And each of the fragrances were named after like a
That's
writer or a classic. Problem is I don't really like any of them.
Oh.
And they're just really strong. There's one I kind of liked. It's like coffee and chocolate. It was Fitzgerald. But
What are the other ones? Do you know the other ones or not?
yeah, I can grab them. Because even the one I got a bigger bottle of because I was like, I do like this smell. But I worked school once and I was in the
Like an influencer?
bathroom and someone was like, wow, that smell is so strong. So I never wore it again.
Oh,
I don't know.
I hate it. When people say that, I'm always like, yeah, thanks. It should be. I spent money on it.
This is Death in the Afternoon. I can't tell you what it smells like. You don't have smell-o-vision. Oceans of Time. Lenore.
So that's
Zelda.
Yeah.
Sylvia. Carmilla. Unhallowed Art. Oh, this one I like. This one smells like sugar cookies. It's just like a random thing we got from... It's to open your throat chakra.
Oh.
Expressive.
And
Glow.
that's not a writer.
No, that's from Wegmans.
All right, fair.
Dharma Bum. And Dead Writers. And Pemberley. Those are my artisanal perfumes, but they're all in tiny bottles. This one's very like, it smells powdery. It's like rose, but then that like powdery perfume smell.
I love rose. Love it. Anything with rose in, big tick.
I like rose.
Turkish
but
delight
not
is really
that one.
lovely. I always eat the rose ones first, and then my family get pissed off at me at Christmas. The whole lot.
I like rose. Oh, there's a rose lychee tea at the tea house I really like to go to.
Ooh. Have you bought
Black rose
the teapot yet? Why not?
They're like $40, and I don't need one. I smashed a teapot today, so.
Well, then you do need one if you smashed it.
No, but I can't be trusted.
Oh. I've still got the puffin mug.
I still have the London one. It's just my writer mug died. And it said, the dreams have died with it. All right. What's it like working on a perfume advert?
So we did one where we had to sign NDAs we had to sign NDAs for all of them. One of the big ones, they rented a big old like country house, and then it was in different rooms of that. And I met the worst photographer. Well, no, just a fucking arrogant photographer. And I was like, oh man, you don't need to be like this. Come on. Very good, but like, he's a well-known name within the fashion world. But he just wouldn't answer me at all. He'd like speak through somebody, and I'd be like, dude, you're going to have to like try a bit harder than that, because I'm asking you about the hair. Yeah.
So does the photographer get to say like...
So you'll have the client and an art director, usually, or the marketing team within the client, and they will have like a brief. They will talk to the art director, who will then like create that brief into how it's going to work. Then they'll give that to the photographer, who will be like, right, to do that, I need to get like, this is the backdrop, this is the vibe I'm going for, yada, yada, yada. Depending on how big they are, they will also have like a lighting guy. Probably one of their assistants will be shit hot at lighting. That's usually the way around. They'll have somebody who's like, okay, this is what we're going to do. And then together they will set up the lighting and like the studio in the background. And then the photographer will shoot it. And then the art director will have it on a screen behind them, usually with the client as well. They will discuss absolute fucking nonsense for ages. And then,
I want that job.
the amount of, like, sometimes an art director is, like, amazing. Like, you'll be, like, blown away by how good they are. Whereas often, they are just...
Are they the one who decides the hair and the clothes and the
Yes.
story?
So they're supposed to pull the whole team together and be like, this is what I
That
want,
was
this
what
is
I
what I
thought.
want, this is what I want. But usually the photographer has, like, final say as well. Or penultimate say. Obviously, the client will be so, like, the photographer will be like, the hair isn't working for me, and they'll change the hair. So, like, there is a massive hierarchy with, like, hair and makeup being relatively at the bottom, assistants being at the bottom, but, like, it'll be like hair, makeup, probably hair last, makeup, and then, like, photographer and lighting, and then art director, and then client at top. But yeah, there's usually a lot of people. It depends on how big the brands are. I've been on, like, huge brands where it's just a day out for the marketing team, and so you have 4 people from the marketing team chatting absolute fucking nonsense, trying to, like, justify their own being there. And then they end up going for something usually very conservative. So it ends up, the amount of shoots I've been on, where they'll be like, oh, we've got this idea and it's fucking wild. And everybody gets excited. And then it'll end up as just, like, a grey background. And you're like, cool, we could have spent hours less time not fuck arsing about. Yeah.
You should become an art director. You have strong opinions.
Oh. A very good image selector, and I have very strong opinions.
There you go.
And I've got good taste. So, well, I have at least understanding of tastes. It's plural. But yeah, you have to be, like, commanding. The art directors, and like I say, some art directors I've worked with and are friends with, fucking lovely people, amazing, really, really smart as a cookie. But some are just arrogant fucks. I worked with one of the last shoots I ever did. Worked with one who was like, she wouldn't come until the end of the day to check everything. So we'd shot an entire day's worth of handbags and, like, people with handbags, so it was all hair. And then she checked at 5:30. Bear in mind the shoot was supposed to finish at 6, to then go through things to see if the reshoot. And I was like, I know you're just fucking about downstairs, like, doing nothing. You could just be here. Like, this is not a good use of everybody's time. Like, you're wasting everybody's time. Like, be here, or get somebody that you trust to look over it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was so annoying. And I was like, wow, there's huge inefficiencies here. I probably won't invest in your company. Like, you are wasting a lot of time.
Well,
And she was a dick as well, proper, like, Devil's Wear Prada kind of prick. But to be fair, it was towards the end of my career and that, and so I was like,
I hated everyone.
what do you want? Don't use words like stupid words like creative, or, like, you just, like, tell me exactly what you want. Oh, I just want more zhuzh. No, what is it? What bit isn't working? Be specific. That's, if you're a good art director, that's a good art director. That's it boiled down. It's, if you are listening to this and you think, I want to be an art director, specificity is, like, your fucking key. Don't just use jargon words that you think are cool, or some abstract artist that only you've heard of, and be like, oh, I quite like it in the vibe of blah, 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 blah. And you're like, no one's heard of that. Now I'm going to Google that person. And you find out it's, like, their mate's band.
Oh.
Of course, no one's ever heard. Do you know what I mean? They just try and be so abstract. It's like, oh, yeah, which is why I left. It's not, but one of the reasons.
Well, then, thank you for sharing.
I feel bad. I feel like I'm just ranting about stuff and you're not having your say. What one can we?
I don't have any
recommend to pick
opinion
one?
on that.
You don't have any opinion. You've got loads of opinions.
On perfume? None.
No, on just
I don't
anything.
like the way they smell on me.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, thank you. It's a hard life.
It's a hard life.
Well, the next one I think you have notes on, but if we skip ahead, I have a mild opinion on this.
Which one?
Why independent horror comics are currently outperforming major Marvel and DC releases.
Go on, girl.
I didn't look up any stats for this, which
Excellent.
probably would have been helpful. But I can say the horror genre in both film and publishing is on the rise. Fantasy was kind of the darling of the publishing industry for a really long time. But, and it still is. Romantasy is on the rise. Fantasy is still on the rise. But horrors, people are shifting into horror. I would argue, and I think other people have argued, that it's because the world is falling apart from every angle. And so people find catharsis in horror. And like Marvel, DC, I think people have been tired of for a really long time. And the big franchises, they've been tired of for a really long time. But this isn't... Oh, no, this is a movie. Let's talk about film. What's it called? Obsession just did really, really well. And The Backrooms did really, really well. And what's interesting about both of those things, and I think historically, horror movies, you can run on a very small budget. Like, even if you think of the Blair Witch Project,
Yeah, that was
I don't
really
know the
cool.
budget
Like
for
8
that,
million,
but
8
it
million, I think
was like, you know, a bunch of young people who broke into the film industry because of a new idea. It's not because they had a huge budget. And so for the backgrounds and Obsession, both of them, the directors were YouTubers. And I think the guy who did Obsession, he did skits for a while. And if you look at his channel, he does have very refined editing and looks really good and stuff. The Backrooms, though, he's like 20. And when he was... So the Backrooms started from, I think, a Reddit post of like a furniture store that was renovating, and so had nothing in it and looked really creepy with like all this peeling wallpaper and this blank room. And so people on the internet started making lore and just like different rules to this limitless kind of parallel universe. And so the guy who directed it made a video in Blender, just an animation of like horrible creatures in it and just this short film. I think got seen by an assistant in Hollywood, and they asked him to do the movie. Now, I will also say The Backrooms is a game, and I don't know when the game came out and where it fits on this timeline, or if the director was the one who did the game.
Who did the game first?
And I should have looked into that, because I would argue the game made the idea more popular than his.
Can I tell you my scary story, or are you still talking?
Story.
So today I was writing, in the middle of writing the ghost story, and where are my notes?
Are you looking for the ghost?
I'm looking for the notes, because the note, as I was writing, you know when you're just like thinking, but you're concentrating on something else? And your notes, basically what my notes wrote were not what I was thinking, which was really eerie. About whilst I was talking about a scary ghost thing. Oh my god, the ghost has took it! The ghost has took my book. The ghost has took my notes. It hasn't.
Maybe. It wants to think you're hallucinating again. Or you are hallucinating again.
God, imagine if none of this was real.
I asked one of my friends that once. I said, what would you do if I was a figment of your imagination?
Oh yeah, I like that game. I'd be really pissed off if this is what my imagination could come up with. Like, I see myself as quite an imaginative person, but you're the only thing that, like, would be nice in this situation. Otherwise, I'm just going to root with a bike and shit lamp. I'd be really fucked off.
Well, we were going to a school, but we were in completely different classes, and so we just sit together on the bus, and I was like, you've never seen me interact with any of your other friends.
Should it go back to narrating to being the ghost? Sometimes I'm writing questions to myself, so, you know.
Oh, I've done that.
Should it go back to being narrated by the ghost? If so, there's no point. And then this is where it was like, in seeing him before it happened, seeing him before, and I was like, what? Why have I written that down? What I was supposed to write was in writing Act 2 before rewriting Act 1. And I was like, who the fuck am I seeing? Who's the seeing him part?
Did you notice it right away?
No, I noticed it like as I was like after I finished the sentence, I was like, "What? Why have I written that?"
Maybe it's your unconscious speaking through your hand.
Maybe. But it was just strange as I was writing about ghosts. It said that I'm sure I've done it 100 times before, but never at the specific moment where I'm talking about like ghosts or thinking of ghosts. Ghosts, ghosts, ghosts.
Ghost, ghost, ghost.
Okay.
The last note you left on this document said, "Why do so few men read books by women?" By Charles Salisbury's.
That's not how you pronounce that name.
This
So say
article
that properly.
is 4 years old.
What's my name?
This pissed me off when I watched a YouTuber called, I'm not gonna say.
No, don't say the name.
That annoyed me too. So self-aggrandizing. Men don't read as much fiction. Reading makes you empathetic. Therefore, I am super empathetic.
It was so bad. It was so self-aggrandizing. These two. It was the article that was in the Guardian, and it's my fault for reading the Guardian because the Guardian is the worst place on earth, as we discussed before. But I can discuss again that quite happily as a left-wing person, even if you're centrist, but like you shouldn't be a centrist, but even if you're on any slight left, they are so weak-willed and just they are. Somebody summed it up perfectly, but they were talking about something else when they were talking about, was it the New Yorker or one of those kind of writers, where it's like when Trump gets in, they're kind of like, oh, do you know what? Let's not worry. It'll be fine. It's not going to be the end of the world. Do you remember when all that happened after the election event? There was a lot of writers that were like liberal, they would call themselves, were all saying this. And it happened
I don't
here
think I had a tolerance for that.
No, I was a very low tolerance of that, but being like, well, let's just see whether he makes it work. And it's like, oh yeah, he is going to make it work. Like,
Yeah.
and
Sorry,
they're just very weak. And then basically this podcast was chatting about, which was if books could kill. And the host is basically like, they will say that because they will be fine. These are all like middle class by British standards, so probably upper middle class by your standards, but like middle class people, well educated, probably white. If they're not white, they'll be of a class that is like not working class. So like they probably will be fine. If things get cut, they probably will be fine. Like they're not going to care about women's shelters being cut because they probably don't use them. Like they're not going to care about like free school meals because they probably don't qualify for them. So like, yeah, even though you see yourself as kind of champagne socialist, is the phrase, you're still going to be fine with a right-wing government. Somebody used the phrase trickle-down feminism, which I thought was really good. That's a really good phrase instead of trickle-down economics. Where it's like, yeah, you can say all these things, but like, you're not like a single mother with 3 kids on fucking benefits. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not the real the issue that like needs serious help immediately, or the woman that's Sarah Everard getting killed by the fucking police. Like there are huge problems with feminism, and this may not be one of them. Let's sort out the safety part first. But yes, this YouTuber, which I won't mention their name, basically was like, women don't went on a tirade, and it was a reading YouTube, so obviously she was going to be more focused on that, on reading and literature, but it was about like men not reading literature.
Well, what I think is interesting is in recent years, at least over here, a lot of teachers have been saying literacy rates in schools is awful. Like, way below the grade they should be, and kids just aren't reading anymore. And then one of our friends who works in publishing was saying some stats came out that less men in general are just reading, and like women don't really read many books by men either, and there are just more books being written by women. And if you think of the big just reading YouTube in general, it's mostly women. There are several men who are quite prominent. But she was saying, yeah, I looked at my reading list and hadn't really read that many men. I would argue it's probably a genre thing, because in sci-fi, it's still male-dominated. And mystery and horror, too, is still quite... in my personal opinion and experience, there's still quite a lot of men. And so if you think about that's what they're writing, and that's like, because men probably aren't reading fantasy as much and probably not writing it as much, but that's the genre that a lot of the publishers are focusing on right now.
Yeah.
Because that's what's selling. And then TikTok has changed what's selling a lot too. And that's a lot of romance, a lot of fantasy too.
Do you think
And
that
again, a lot
may
of
be
women.
why men aren't reading as much? I suppose not, because like I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
mean, in a
I
sense,
don't know
if
what's
you're
going on
not...
TikTok, so I probably wouldn't be reading like
I think it's
what's
that. I
fashionable.
think it's a lot of those two genres which are growing. Like I said, the publishers are going to put more money into, because if that's what's selling, and so they're probably focusing on more female dominant areas, especially because like social media, I think, is probably the latest trend to really upend the industry, other than AI, but that's like a completely different conversation.
And this is the problem as well that they got with the YouTuber. They went straight to men don't read. Reading makes you more empathetic, therefore I am more empathetic, which was the basic crux of the argument without her saying I am more empathetic. But that was where she was going with it. And then it went straight to adolescence, Jordan Peterson, Andrew Tate, and I was like, why the fuck must we be like these three? Well, one's a fictional story, but why
But
the
that's where
fuck must we
you
go
keep hearing,
straight to the worst of the worst?
I don't know any other ones, but
They could just be normal guys.
oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You don't have to be like men don't read as much. Empathetic.
Well, what other
These fucking horrible
communities
human
are
beings.
there for young men? Sports. And I think in all the sports communities I've been in, they haven't been huge readers.
To be honest, I don't know with young...
Video games, but again, that's not really... That's your escapism versus reading.
But then if story is your empathy, the idea is that reading was that your empathy, increased empathy because of story.
Well, it
So in
depends on the
theory,
game.
if you're using
If you're playing
a story-based video
Valorant,
game, yeah, then you are...
you're not really getting a story.
No, but I'm out on a limb here. Other story things?
Games exist?
Games
Yes.
exist?
They do, but I don't know.
In editing, I will insert their name so I look like I know what I'm talking about. No, you know what I mean.
Name one video game.
Grand Theft Auto.
That doesn't have a story. That's like we were not allowed any interaction with Grand Theft Auto because you can sexually assault women freely in it. And so my mom said, no.
We weren't
not in my house.
But,
name a story game.
Red Dead Redemption.
Yep, there you go.
Is that one? Yeah. Yep. Zelda.
Yep. That's another one. Do you want to try for a third or call it there?
See, my mind goes blank whenever some people test me on stuff. I should get into gaming. I shouldn't get into gaming. I'm not sure. Go on. On Elven World or something? Is that a game? All right.
World of Warcraft?
World of Warcraft, not a what's it? Age of Empires, the one that I played, isn't a... I'm going to stick with Grand Theft Auto. It has got a story.
No, it doesn't.
It does. You've got to do some crimes.
That's not a story.
It does have a story.
Well, there's there's Dragon Age. My sister really liked. I would argue Fallout has a little bit of a story.
There you go.
That's kind of open world though. And then there are storybook games where you're not really even making decisions. You're just going through the game and you get the story.
Yeah. But that like I think that goes against the idea of this empathy, because if you are living the story, then you're. It's my argument for why audiobooks is equal to reading, because you'll
I
comprehend.
would agree with
like,
that, but that it's not every gamer is into story games.
No, that's true. That's true. But yeah, what I'm saying is like I think that I don't know. It's true men aren't reading. I'm sure it's true that men aren't reading as much. I did look at the statistics. Also, the thing that pisses me off with this is it goes to gender essentialism, and I'm quite anti-gender essentialism, as you know. So I don't think like men behave like men are X because of X. Like,
All right, I think. Feel free to cut out all the political talk.
I don't see why. I don't know what we're going to cut out of this episode. It's a mangled one.
Okay, let me edit it.
All right, you can edit it.
Thank you for listening to Ink in the Eyes. Tell us what you thought of our AI topics. If you have any opinions, if you think there's any topics we should discuss. Any final words?
Next week we'll be resuming normal arty culture. What?
Normal programming.
Normal programming. Well, less. It won't be quite so graphic novel heavy moving forward, but it'd be more arts, cultures, books, poetry, random rants on the Conservatives.
Maybe
the
not.
usual.
Okay.
Good night. Here's the train.
Good day.